Hi kids! Kumusta? Kumusta is how are you in Tagalog, one of the main languages in the Philippines. I am your Kuya Paul, and I would like to say hi, hello for those who are watching this video. For today, I will be sharing to you one popular folk epic in my country, which is the Philippines. But before we move to the sharing of the story, I would like to say thank you to the DeKalb Public Library and the Center for Southeast Asian Studies at Northern Illinois University for giving us the opportunity to share the literatures of our countries, the stories from our countries through this initiative just in time for the celebration of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in the United States. Now, kids, if you're interested at knowing more about a Filipino epic hero, if you want to hear things about magic and adventure, please continue watching. Kids, I'd like to start with an introduction to the larger setting of the story, which is the Philippines. And the Philippines is a country located in Southeast Asia, particularly in the Western Pacific. And it was given the moniker Pearl of the Orient Seas because the Philippines is an island nation. It's an archipelago consisting of 7,641 islands. So you will see here a lot of white sand beaches, natural wonders, and even heritage sites. Of course, when I was at NIU, I was a foreign language teaching assistant for Tagalog classes. So might as well teach you some basic Tagalog greetings and expressions. Kids, let's start off with the most popular one, and that is Mabuhay. Can we all say ma? Bu? Hi. Mabuhay. Very good. And mabuhay means long live. Another Tagalog greeting is magandang araw. Can we all say magandang araw? Very good. And that means good day. Now kids, mabuhay, magandang araw. Without much ado, let's start our storytelling. Kids, just like your favorite Marvel heroes and characters from X-Men, each country, just like the Philippines, has its own folk hero, or we commonly know them as our epic heroes. Now for today, the folk hero or epic hero that I will be sharing is from the northern part of the Philippines. So are you all excited now to learn about his life and his adventures? Well then, let us proceed. The title of the epic is Biag ni Lam-ang, or in English, Life of Lam-ang. Again, it's a Filipino folk epic featuring the epic hero named Lam-ang. A little background about this Filipino folk epic. Biag ni Lam-ang or Life of Lam-ang is a pre-Hispanic epic poem of the Ilocano people of the Philippines. The story was handed down orally for generations before it was written down around 1640, assumedly by a blind Ilocano bard named Pedro Bucaneg. So this folk epic has already been existing even before the Spaniards came to the Philippines. So this is the summary of Biag ni Lam-ang or Life of Lam-ang. Let's all read together. Let's begin. Don Juan and his wife Namongan lived in Nalbuan, now part of La Union in the northern part of the Philippines. They had a son named Lam-ang. Before Lam-ang was born, Don Juan went to the mountains in order to punish a group of their Igorot enemies. While he was away, his son Lam-ang was born. It took 4 people to help Namongan give birth. And as soon as the baby popped out, he spoke and asked that he be given the name Lam-ang. He also chose his godparents and asked where his father was. But after 9 months of waiting for his father to return, Lam-ang decided he would go look for him. Namongan thought Lam-ang was up to the challenge, but she was sad to let go of her son. So kids, this now forms part of Lam-ang's exciting adventures. So during his exhausting journey, because he is in search for his father, he decided to rest for a while. He fell asleep and had a dream about his father's head being stuck on a pole by the Igorot. Lam-ang was furious when he learned what had happened to his father. So his father unfortunately died. He rushed to their village and killed all the enemies, except for one whom he let go so that he could tell other people about this young strong man who's always seen bringing with him a magical rooster and a magical dog. And his name is Lam-ang. So upon returning to Nalbuan in triumph, remember, he was able to kill all the enemies except for one. He was bathed by women in the Amburayan River. However, there's one extraordinary and funny thing that happened when he bathed in the river. So what happened? All the fish died because of the dirt and odor from Lam-ang's body. Yes, you heard it right. Because of Lam-ang's body, and because he bathed in that river, all the living creatures in the river died. Let's meet Lam-ang's love interest. There was a young woman named Ines Canoyan whom Lam-ang wanted to court. She lived in Kalanutian, and he brought along his white rooster and gray dog to visit her. On the way, Lam-ang met his enemy Sumarang, another suitor of Ines whom he fought and readily defeated. Like I told you so, Lam-ang is a strong young man. So what happened next? Lam-ang found the house of Ines surrounded by many suitors, all of whom were trying to catch her attention. He had his rooster crow, which caused a nearby house to fall. And this made Ines look out. He had his dog bark, and in an instant, the fallen house rose up again. The girl's parents witnessed this and called for Lam-ang. The rooster expressed the love of Lam-ang, and the parents agreed to a marriage with their daughter if Lam-ang would give them a dowry. So it's like a marriage payment to the family of the girl or of the woman, valued at double their wealth. Lam-ang had no problem fulfilling this condition, and he and Ines eventually got married. So just like in any story, there is always a combination of like a sad and a happy ending. Now let's see if this applies in the story of Lam-ang. It was a tradition to have a newly married man like Lam-ang swim in the river for the rarang fish. Unfortunately, Lam-ang dove straight into the mouth of the water monster called Berkakan. Ines had Marcos get his bones, which she covered with a piece of cloth. His rooster crowed and his dog barked, and slowly the bones started to move. Back alive, Lam-ang and his wife lived happily ever after with his white rooster and gray dog. So, it applies. It's a sad and at the same time a happy ending for Lam-ang and his wife, Ines Canoyan. So kids, there you have it. That's the end of the story of Lam-ang or the life of Lam-ang. I hope you were able to get a piece of the long and exciting adventures of Lam-ang as an epic hero. But just like other epic narratives or epic poems from different countries, Biag ni Lam-ang or Life of Lam-ang is also a very long epic poem that needs more time to read. Here are my references for the photos used in this presentation, and the first one is my reference for the summary of the story. So kids, to test if you do remember everything that we talked about the life of Lam-ang, I have here 3 quiz questions. So are you ready to answer? Don't worry, it will be very easy, and I know you can do it. Kayang-kaya. Let's start with number 1. So give it a try. Who are the parents of Lam-ang? 5, 4, 3, 2, and the answers are Don Juan and Namongan. Again, Don Juan and Namongan are the parents of Lam-ang. Now for the second question. Give it a try. What is the name of the monster fish that killed Lam-ang? 5, 4, 3, 2, and the answer is Berkakan. Again, it's the Berkakan. Now let's have the last question. Give it a try. Did Lam-ang die in the story? Let's see your answers. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the answer is yes, he died, but he was taken back to life by his dog's bark and his rooster's crow. So remember what happened? Okay, very good. So kids, I know that you were able to get all the answers correctly. For that, I'm going to give you our magaling cheer or an excellent cheer. Magaling, magaling, magaling. Very good. And if you want to learn more about Tagalog, and one of the main languages in the Philippines and the Filipino culture, I am encouraging you and inviting you to visit the NIU Seaside page for Tagalog. And not only that, you can also explore other Southeast Asian languages in this website, such as Bahasa Indonesia, Thai, Burmese, and Khmer, or the language of the Cambodian people. So kids, this has been your Kuya Paul once again. I want to say thank you very much, maraming salamat, for joining me in uncovering the exciting adventures and the extraordinary life of our epic hero named Lam-ang. Maraming salamat and see you next time!